What's up, RBC? So that was the intro for the Riverside Electric Light Parade. As some of you know, I think one of the things I've really tried to do is have an opportunity for new cyclists to kind of come in. And at RBC, we have a lot of ride categories from A, B, C, and D, but we don't have like a, hey, I just got on a bike since I was 15, I'm now 52. What does it look like for me? So I am super excited to have John and Gigi on today as they lead the Riverside Electric Light Parade. They are a chapter of the Venice Electric Light Parade. And I will be doing stuff solo. I am missing Sadiq and getting blown up by text messages right now because he had to nuke some of his internet accounts. So I'm going to go ahead, but without further ado, and pull on John, Gigi, and Rodney.
Hey, hey.
What's up, guys? Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, how are you?
So going through some of the things, wanted to first start out R.E.L.P. That's the way things are abbreviated. Can you tell us what R.E.L.P. stands for?
R.E.L.P. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having us on board here. It's just been an honor, you know, everything that we started here and to be on board today to talk to everybody to see what we've got going on here, really. But R.E.L.P. is Riverside Electric Light Parade, and that's part of V.E.L.P., which is Venice Electric Light Parade. And then there's San Diego, and there's Maui. So we have 4 chapters of the V.E.L.P. program. So it's pretty exciting to be a part of Riverside. We're almost a 1-year anniversary coming up since we started this thing. It's crazy how fast and how much we've grown here in a short time.
Okay, and then we'll talk a little bit about how we met. So I'll kind of introduce. So some of you guys have been with me out to Critical Mass in LA. I wanted a family-friendly event that I could bring both my boys to. LA is a little scurry. I do not want to take my kids to LA from 3 p.m. to 1 in the morning. And so I started doing a ride in Riverside, and that's how we met, right?
Right. Yeah, actually, Gigi was searching. When we came back from Venice, we thought, my goodness, it's so far to drive all the time, just like you're saying. It's like there's got to be something locally here. And so Gigi started searching, and she found Friday Night Lights, Riverside Bike. And we're like, what is this? We'll just go ahead and check it out and see how it, you know, what's going on here in Riverside to save us a whole lot of driving. And then, you know, meeting you and seeing what maybe 20, 30 people that were out there at the beginning. Yeah. And then, you know, a few months later, here we are, you know, you become president of the Riverside Bike Club, and I become the president of you know, R.E.L.P. It's just all crazy how this whole thing started. And all started by meeting up with you. It really did.
Good stuff. And good help is hard to find. So tell us a little bit about Rodney.
Okay. So Rodney, partner here. Hello. So Rodney and I go way back, all the way back to, you know, late 70s, early 80s, and we were in the car kind of business together. So we used to custom cars back in the day, and we had a friend of ours who owned a shop. Rodney took off and went to Japan for, gosh, over 20 years, and came back, you know, to the States here. We reconnected through social media, and I thought, you know, if I need a partner to be involved with, I said, you know, Rodney started going with us, riding with you, and so we decided, hey, let's get together. Rodney be my vice president. And that's kind of like what happened. So it just, you know, now he's my VP, and, you know, Gigi, of course, is the boss there. And it's just been a wonderful thing. So the 3 of us together just made a great team.
Yeah, and you guys do make a good team. For those of you guys writing in too, remember, if you do your comments and you give StreamYard permission, it'll show us who you are, and I'll put that on the screen. So Rodney, well, he'll typically be the guy on the camera. So you'll see a stream of lights and people, and there's Rodney in the mix with the camera, getting video and pictures as John leads and Gigi tries to corral the troops. So you guys do make a really good team.
Yeah.
Now, how did you become a chapter of the Venice Electric Light Parade?
Well, that is something. Well, actually, what happened was when we would go out to Venice, I had my daughter take Marx's logo and take out the Venice and pop in Riverside. And so we sent it to Marcus after he rode with us, you know, coming out to Riverside. I said, hey, look, we'd like to do this. And he said, hey, whoa, I think you guys can do this. I rode out there with you before. I think you got something really good in Riverside, you know, but there's a franchise fee. There's a trademark, you know, that with my logo. So if you want to have my logo, then you have to have my trademark fee, what have you, that kind of goes with it. So we
Mm.
decided you want to stick with his logo to have his followers and to have him a part of us and everything else. And then we learned out later on that there was San Diego involved and Maui, Hawaii. So at the time we just thought about Venice. I had no idea about San Diego that was already going on there. And again, those people have the same logo that are kind of branding. So it's his branding. Now we could have stuck with Friday Night Lights and not had Marcus involved at all, but it wouldn't be the same phone I think that we had. And just remember the first time that he came out, we had almost 200 people that came out,
Yeah.
just that one time, just because he was coming out. And so I thought, man, we definitely can do this. So when you gave us this opportunity, saying, hey, I can't do this anymore, we jumped on it. And right away, Marcus, was right behind us, and we did all this. And look, like you say, we're jumping on a 1-year anniversary coming up, and he'll be here actually in February to ride with us again for February. And we're also going to be the Black History Parade, the Riverside Black History Parade on February 11th. So we're definitely doing some things here. Yep.
Yeah,
that's kind of how we got connected. That's exactly how it all happened. Yeah.
And I think it was a good strategic move. You guys can read about the Venice Electric Light Parade and Marcus's story. He's been featured in some magazines and all kinds of cool stuff. Right. And I think that was probably a really good move. And I've been super excited about you keeping it a family-friendly thing. Marcus is really big on that. Like when he runs his Venice things, he always stresses this is a family thing. So for you guys, when you tell someone, come ride with me, they're going to say no. I'm talking about the cyclists, right? And I can't ride with you. But if you want to ride with someone for the first time, this is the last Saturday every month that you guys do this, right? And it's open to anybody. So you can be on a beach cruiser.
It can be anything. Yeah. It's the one ride where you have multiple wheels. I call it wheel love. It's like free family fun, no matter what kind of wheel you have, whether it's a rollerblade or skateboarders. I mean, we've got everything, single wheels. I mean, the scooter craze is really big now. These guys got powered scooters that are out there. And we've got, kids at the same time that are 5 and 7 years old that are riding with their grandparents. So we've got every age group, we've got every nationality, we've got everything out there. And and to see the smile on people's faces, that's just what it's all about, So getting these people outside, this whole thing started is because I wanted to get a bike and get outside during COVID. Yeah. And I, convinced my wife to get me an e-bike. I already had some bikes sitting around. I said, hey, if you give me an e-bike, I'll ride it. I promise you, I'll ride. And now look at what's happened. Now we have, 5 e-bikes now, and so it just grown. It's just crazy.
So, and you mentioned your 3 Fs. So what are your 3 Fs?
My 3 Fs. That was free family fun. The whole thing we have here is, the Venice Electric Light Parade started also the free family fun event. There's no drinking, no smoking on the event. It's just a great vibe.
People bring their pets too.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. It's all open for just have fun. If you want to dress up, you can dress up. If you don't, you don't. And so I've seen people who've come out for the first time and they're on a BMX bike and they have no lights on. Then all of a sudden they come back next month. Now they've got lights on their wheels. They got something on the handlebars. They got something on their helmet. So everyone just kind of grows, and you just watch everyone just excel, just like we have. And when I started off with simple, my Benton bike that I started with, and now I'm on this, Saunders. I'm changing lights, even upgrade more today. So it's awesome. Always fun, but the whole thing is it's just free family fun. That's what it's all about, getting outside.
So I'm catching up on comments here. Pavlova, good job on doing the comment thing, right? So I can put your name on there. So what time and where? It's downtown. It's still downtown courthouse, right?
We always leave. What we're trying to have people think now is like Saturdays at sunset. So no matter what time of the year it is, we're always going to leave at sunset. So right now we're saying right around 5 o'clock. So we're meeting up at 3:30. Then when people need lights for the bikes, we do that for them. It's a small charge of $20 a wheel, 7 different colors. And then we can install those for you before the ride takes off. So Rod and I and Gigi were out there putting on zip ties and doing our thing. And then we make an announcement with whoever we're with, and we take off right about 5 o'clock with our traffic marshals and ready to go.
Yep. So, so for you, to kind of wind that down a little bit for you guys listening at home. So you can invite somebody. That I always stress, just bring somebody out. The thing is to get people out there, right? Because people are going to make up excuses not to get out. And we live in a day and age where we really, and this is my personal mission. This is John and Gigi's personal mission, especially 2023. I'm trying to get more people riding bikes because I think it is just a great thing for all of us. And then the other question is there a RELP Facebook page? Yep, it's just the Riverside Electric Light Parade, right? And we can link
Correct.
that.
Also, we have Instagram. We
Okay.
also have Instagram. We have a YouTube page. We've got all the avenues of the social media.
And then when you join us, you'll learn about Venice, you'll learn about San Diego and Maui, and you can do all the rides.
Right.
There you go. Chapters all over the place. And then, yep. So I don't know who that is, but someone probably did a few critical masses. I don't know if that's maybe Van or, but yes, come out and do it. It's a lot of fun and it's a lot closer. I would leave Riverside at 3 p.m. if you're doing like Venice or LA and you don't get home till 1 a.m. Where here you're able to go to downtown Riverside, you do the ride and you're back home. You know, it's not
that's the best part of it. Yeah. Right.
And all levels. Yeah. So we have little kids. You got, you know, racer types that just want to put lights on their bike and cruise that day. It's a really everybody invited kind of ride. So good questions, Pavlova. Thank you for that. What's your favorite part of running RELP?
Boy, oh boy. I'd have to say the funnest part, the favorite part of me, I think it's just going through those streets and looking at the smiles on the faces, to watch all the cameras go up as we ride to downtown. The people in their cars, how they just stop and just, you know, let us go on by. You know, we have our traffic marshals to block us, but that's just the best part for me, really, is just looking the smile on these faces. It's just amazing. I feel like it's a total performance. It's not like a regular bike ride, you know, you guys do yourself, because we have everything on our ride. You know, we have every type of wheel that's out there, but normal, you go to a normal ride, it's one, if a BMX bike, it's BMX bikes and that's it. With us, we've got everything. We've got Ronan up front with the sparks going when there's rollerblades, and then you've got a guy in the back on a scooter, you know, so it's just everything. That's the best part for me, really, is all the smiles. What do you guys think? Same thing?
Yeah. And it's funny when you get to the light and I walk over to people and I say, I'm sorry, we'll be passing in a second. They say, no, I want to know who you guys are so I can join. So it's, I mean, we get the most positive attitudes when we're riding all the time.
And bring light to people's lives.
Yes.
I think sometimes people just had a bad day, and I think I can see it on their faces. They needed it.
Yes. Yeah. We go through neighborhoods, people just welcome us in the neighborhoods. They come out, take pictures, they clap for
They're
us.
running to the front door. I see them sometimes with their kids.
That's it is a lot, and that's why I think the naming is better too, because it really is like a parade. You're riding down the street and people are coming out and waving and stuff like that, and that's been such a fun experience going past heroes and you got the people.
And without all the riders, there is no parade. You know what I mean? So we need all of our followers, all our riders to make this whole thing happen. You know, just like we started with 50, now we have an average of 125, 150 just about every ride. You know, so it's amazing, this response.
And then also the riders that come ride with us that are not familiar with Riverside. Riverside's a beautiful city. And then after the ride, they're like, oh my God, your city is so beautiful. We have so many landmarks, the Mission Inn, and then the Cheech and Chong Museum, and just all the beautiful things that they see. And it's good for the riders too. They love it.
Yeah. And then, so for those of you guys who are watching at home, I think some of the coolest rigs are Christopher Pixley, some of those guys, the lit riders. They have some crazy rigs you have to come out and see. So Chris, I know I'm trying to, like, you guys don't see it at home, but I got all these things coming in I'm trying to do. So I'm like approving people on Facebook last minute.
Okay, very good. Awesome. Yeah, I tell you what, man, you know, the lit riders, they just bring it, man. They have a group of guys, you know, they have their home is actually in Hollywood, but these guys are from LA, Orange County, I mean, Inland Empire, they're from all over. And they just kind of came together as themselves and started their own little club to just go out and support everybody's rides.
Yes.
And so, you know, and it's just a whole thing I talked about, that wheel love, you know what I mean? It's just, they show it more than anybody because they go to everyone's rides. And they pick us to come to and be a part of ours. I'm just honored to have them. Yeah.
Right. And there's so few things that are, there's not a whole lot of positivity. And I think what you guys are doing is bringing people together. And what I would love to see is throughout the city, because again, we don't have to drive. Most of us can ride, you know, with our lit up rigs down to downtown Riverside. It would be cool to see a little light trickle all throughout the city, ending up in downtown Riverside, and then to do, it looks like everybody is in the house now. So very cool.
All right, perfect.
So next question. So I got a couple of pictures we'll load. So who's the biggest character you've met so far? Let's see if any of them are watching. So we
I
got
wonder if they're on.
Darwin.
All right,
Darwin
that
Dallas.
guy right there, man.
Darwin.
He's a character, all right.
Darwin
And then
Dallas.
Oscar. Oh,
man,
yeah.
Oscar, there's your
Oscar.
there you go, man.
And then Sherry, she's probably watching. I got the most flattering picture for her right there.
If that is not a character, what is, man? Those
Yeah.
are, you know, and look at, and right there, that is our, that's Hovman. He's our guy. That's my favorite rig right there, man. That guy's my inspiration, man.
Yeah, he's
What
got.
that guy does with his music and his lights and everything. It's just amazing.
So for those of you guys at home, that rig is like boom, like it's subwoofer speak. I mean, like it's a concert stereo that's attached to the back of his bike. That thing.
It is. When I first seen him at Venice, I rolled up my little speaker in the back of my box. I thought I was doing something. Man, I seen that guy. I thought, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, do I have to get to that level? You know, whatever. And so,
Yes. The answer is yes.
Man, he's the one that's kind of, inspired me to get to that next level. He kept telling me, John, don't worry about it. Just keep pushing, keep doing the next thing, just like he did. So that guy, between him and Marcus, man, just definitely those two are definitely the speaker guys. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Lit Riders, Marcus, all of them. I mean, there's very little bike left that's not covered in LEDs, which is great.
Right.
But when you're trying to build your own rig up to that level, it's kind of intimidating. But yeah, one step at a time. I'll probably be 80 by the time I get mine up to that level. But so what's been your biggest challenge? And this may go back to one of the questions earlier. It is an all-inclusive, all levels ride. So is that your biggest challenge then?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge really is keeping everybody in tight. I mean, I don't want any gaps in between. And so that's part like what Rodney's doing, with our traffic marshal doing. So we have, Ben Rodriguez, who's on my right side. I got Milton Johnson. I got Dave Galvez. We got all these guys. We're all mic'd up. We're all on walkie-talkies, and we're all communicating. And so, without those walkie-talkies, I think without the communication we're doing, it'd be really, really hard. Just really challenging for me and stressful for me at the same time, because here I am. I'm this guy with 100 and something people behind me. And then all I can do is depend on, these guys behind me with their walkie-talkies to make sure everything is staying in tight. So even if there's a green light, people wait, oh, why is he waiting for a green light? Well, I'm waiting at a green light because Rodney or Gigi's telling me in the back, hey, slow down, John. Wait, John, we got kids that haven't caught up yet, whatever, blah, blah, because I can't see because they're so far behind me. You're talking blocks and blocks of people that are behind me. So not like there's just 20 people, we got hundreds of people. And so our communication is so important, and our whole planning thing, I call it the 5 Ps. It's, proper planning prevents poor performance. And so that's a big part of our thing, is everything we do is planning, down to the music, down to make sure our lights are all ready to go, our batteries are charged, our traffic marshal are ready to go, our walkie-talkies are ready to go. Yeah. I mean, it's just not, there's a lot that goes into it. People say, can you do this every other week? I'm thinking, I don't know if we can do this every other week. It's just so much that goes on to it.
Heck no.
Now we're, and now with the rate that we're growing and the way things are going, and we're working with these nonprofits now and everything else that we're doing with the community, we'll probably talk about later. But yeah, I think that's probably my biggest challenge. You guys probably agree. You think it's not, in the beginning, I think it was the route, figuring the route out. Oh my God, what's it challenging me for the route? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Yeah. But now I've gotten Riverside down pretty packed now. I'm new to Riverside myself. Actually, I grew up in Inland Empire, but I didn't live in Riverside. Yeah. And so now I've been living here in Riverside for the last 7 years. And so I've really learned my way around the different streets, riding the different rides. So that's why it's important to go to other people's rides also. I go to the Stacks Bike Shop, with the Bell City Bombers. I go to the Heavy Hitters. I go out with the Outsiders. I'm going out with everybody, just so that I can see the route that they go in my own town, so I can learn those little streets, and then take it to my way and critique it to my own style that works, for Riverside Electric Light Parade.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, I think when I started riding, and I just did like my bikeography, right? Because I started in 2010, you really do learn and see a different side of the city and become much more familiar with it than if you drive. Because I feel like riding a bike through a city, you're experiencing the city. If you're in a car, you're driving through a city. And I've always felt that way, moving that. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about how do you work with the community? Because I know you've done a couple of things, the Santa Ana River cleanup. You were there for that and led that. What are some other things that you're doing with the community?
Why don't you go ahead, and Gigi? Why don't you go and talk about what we did with Park Recreation?
Well, they had an event in the summertime called Keep the River in Riverside, where they want to educate the residents on bike safety actually, and all educate the water. They had all kind of things going on. It was with the Parks and Recreation and with the
Highway
Patrol.
Patrol.
They gave out helmets, and so they invited us to lead a bike ride from
Rubidoux Park, right
Yeah,
there.
so Mount Rubidoux over to Martha McLean.
Park.
And they had a festival set up on Martha McLean where everyone kind of rode from there. So we were taking kids back and forth along there, playing our music. It was during the day and everything. But, you know, Officer Navarro is in charge of pedestrian safety for California Highway Patrol. And so we made a connection with him also. And so he invited us out there to come out and host, you know, co-host with him. And so we were honored to have the city contact us to go out and do this ride, you know, just like, well, they actually seen us on a little quick thing that we had on Channel 7 where we did it for a food drive. We went to Stater Brothers. So we got during the day, we got some guys, some Stacked Bike Shop, our bike sponsor. And then we've got ourselves. We kind of went during the day with some Stater Brothers bags on our handlebars of food in there. And Channel 7 was there seeing us coming up like, whoa, who are you guys? This music and all loud and everything. We told them who we were. The producers talked and said, hey, let's give these guys a chance on TV.
That was cool.
You know, and so we got to do that plug on TV. And the next thing you know, the city of Riverside contacted us. A Benton bike company contacted us, want to do a ride with us. So it just, this whole thing is just grown working with the community. So now what we're doing is we're working with a different nonprofit each month. So last month we had a lady out with what we did a light drive for homeless families. And so it was called a Family Promise. And so what it has, we had our riders donate a simple flashlight or any kind of light that can help these kids get into a bad situation at night where they can't find a way in a new home to the restroom or where it may be, they can flash their light. So that was great to have her out there. And then this month, we're actually having out the Hope collaboration, which is another one for abused children that we're working with. So that is what we're doing right now for this month. And we're doing a bag drive, a simple $1 bag drive, or it may be just so you can put some kids' clothes into real quick and get them out of a bad situation. We're doing that. So we're asking our riders they can bring in any kind of a new bag. It has to be a new bag too, not something used. We're gonna have something new. So there's so many different things you can do. Even at Ross or the day we were there, we've seen a $1 bag. I mean, it's just, you check out the check stand. That could be enough for fill a kid's clothes into to get them out of a bad situation. So that doesn't have to cost a lot of money to do this, but it's something we want to do. We're working with the community. We definitely
want to do something for the community on a regular basis.
And I think it's a really good idea because again, you have this ride that's bringing people together positively. I think riding in general, I've met people that I never would have met any other way. In fact, we wouldn't have met, right? If it wasn't for bikes.
Yep.
And then
community, I think sometimes when people think cyclists, they think of the guy that cut them off on a stop sign or did those kind of things. They don't think about the fact that we're still highly invested in wanting, because I love Riverside. I love this city and trying to get involved more and figuring about, especially after, I turned 40, really thinking about what my life is contributing to other people. And to some degree, how does my legacy mark where I've lived? And I think that that's a really, really great thing. And we have to get involved with the community and start some of these conversations. And this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, it's important. Even as small business owners here, we're small business owners here also in Riverside. So for us, we're giving back, the same time with the community, not only from our business, but we're just giving back in the love that we're giving for our Riverside Electric Light Parade at the same time. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I think even our virtual club meetings that we do once a month like this are going to start to format where we do talk about local businesses and trying to benefit local businesses that give benefit to the cycling community specifically, but just helping local businesses as a membership as well, which I think is great. Okay. So do you have, and I know the answer to this question because of it. I got right here. You got.
Look at that. Yeah, baby,
merch.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
You were the first one. That is the first one off the press that went to you. We said the first one going out is going to Andrew.
Yeah.
Man, we just love you so much, man. Look at that. Yes.
So front, back, and I'll tell you guys, dude, this junk, I told them I have to take this off when I work on the yard. It's so freaking comfortable. I have to make sure I keep it clean. And the last time I was doing yard work and I got this junk all wet and I slapped my face with the drawstring and all that kind of stuff. So
But we have all the yes, sir. So we have T-shirts. We've got all that good stuff. Yep, we all have it. That's why I say we're always there at 3:30 or an hour and a half before selling the merchandise and also installing the wheel lights for folks. Also, Yeah,
need to get a
thank you for
t-shirt.
plugging that. There you go. You're a perfect model.
Nice.
It's too
Perfect.
hot. I can't. It's too hot in here. I can't.
Yeah, I know,
wear a
Julie.
sweatshirt.
Trust me.
Otherwise, I would have had it on.
So we have our t-shirts. So there we go. Boom, boom.
Oh, snap.
Okay, so we have them in different colors, black, gray, all the good stuff. Yeah.
So all that to say, so that's let me make sure we get caught up in comments here.
All right.
Can I join your road biking group? Yes. Let me follow up in comments because I can see it, but I can't see which user that is. So we'll have somebody make a comment to you, and maybe Sadiq can help with that.
Right.
Oh, good question. Sadiq has a question. And Sadiq, can you answer him on the road biking group, get him information? But yes, we have all levels of road biking. We'd love to have you. Merch is merch only available the day of the ride, or is there a store front? So good question, Sadiq.
We'd like to have a storefront.
Actually,
if anyone out there wants to help us.
Yeah, no. Actually, what we're doing is we're gonna be building a website.
Yeah.
So next thing now is a website. We're gonna build a website next, so we can have that storefront on there available. But now, if someone wants to order, you can go directly, give us a direct mail message on our Facebook page. Let us know what you want to have them. We can actually send one directly to your home. So we can do that for you. Yep. For the meantime, that's our next thing is that we just talked about that this week. Rodney, and we had a meeting about that on Monday, talking about our next step is to have a website. Yep.
Yeah, we were trying to put together an order, but you have to get so many to.
Yes.
Yeah,
The fulfillment side
same thing you do with your pre-order. Yeah, same thing that you do. Yep.
Yeah, it's a pain because you have to have enough. You have to have enough.
That's what I mean.
To hand out, and you have to hold it in your house, and it becomes a whole thing.
Right.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, I think that will. Who is biking tomorrow? Thursday we got a whole bunch of rides. Yeah. So Sadiq, if Sadiq can't answer that, I'll get to that after the live. But we have a whole bunch of rides. Thursday night I do gravel ride, but we have I think 3 or 4 different road rides that happen at the night, and I think there's a couple in the morning as well. So I'll have someone get to you with that, or I'll end up message whoever that was. Okay. So I think that kind of wraps it up. The last thing, I am trying to come up with cool things. So I'm going to have like little giveaway things. You guys probably can't see that because it's
okay. I can see it. Yeah. There's a bike gear. Yeah. The bike gear.
Yeah. But it basically reads, you are an essential part to our success, but it's got little gear cogs. So I'm going to be trying to hand stuff like that out during the club meetings, and I got a whole bunch of them. And then we'll probably be doing things like reviews on random stuff because now YouTube, the way it works typically is, a person gets free merchandise and says they're not paid by that company, and it's completely, non-judgy, but obviously they probably get a piece of the pie when they're doing stuff. So I'll put some of that stuff out there. Next month. So thank you guys so much. All right. You guys stay on. I'll talk to you backstage. And then thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.
January 26th. This Saturday.
And yes. So 2 days away, right? Today's Wednesday. 3 days? 3 days?
3 days away.
This Saturday, look at Riverside Electric Light Parade group. And I think Sadiq has that group in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. When in doubt, pedal it out.
All right, I like that.